And making plans and the discipline to stick to your knitting, well, it takes real effort. Brisbane businesswoman Victoria Jennings is someone I've known since we were both in high school, McGregor High School, a few years back now. And she penned her thoughts in a book, The Art of Success. And any success which Victoria has had has been self-made, and Victoria joins me now. Great to see you, always. But let's face it, you published this book in the United States. They lap this stuff up, don't they? They go for the art of success.
They do, and they don't suffer with the tall poppy syndrome like we tend to here a little bit. So they love to see people successful.
And they celebrate that, don't they?
Yeah.
So we kind of talk ourselves down before we start. Is that kind of one of the problems we have in this country?
I think we seem to love the underdog, but as soon as the underdog becomes successful, it's time to knock them down a notch or two.
Which is a bit sad, and of course, you know, the underdog status was never afforded Blaxland, Wentworth and Lawson when they went for the new planes on the other side of the Blue Mountains, let's face it. But look, making plans, I would think, surely takes values, surely takes, you know, some sort of personal commitment and personal philosophy, as well as, I guess, grit, determination. Those plans are really, you know, hard to get right. But you set yourself your own goals each year. You don't go for this sort of, you know, I want to drink less and walk more or whatever. No. You set a plan for where you want to be at the end of a year.
Yeah, I do. So I start backwards. So I write down on the 31st of December, 2023, I'm so grateful for these things that have occurred.
So you sort of reflect on where you want to be, and then what do? You it's like a mantra for you.
And then I go through it. So I go through all the different areas of life. I go through my business. I go through family, relationships, anything that's important to me that I want to make sure I'm moving forward on, or I want to change from the year before and see a positive change. So it drives my whole year for my whole being, not just business, but for everything. And then I actually start to make business plans from what I write down with my goals.
So do you embarrass yourself if you don't achieve, or
No.
how do you motivate yourself?
Normally what happens is a whole lot of additional things will be achieved that I didn't even plan for. Because once you start getting momentum, it's hilarious how things just start coming into your life and your life starts opening up because you're operating at a higher frequency than you are if you're all in the lower frequency of, oh, gee, it was hard last year, it's going to be tough this year, and, you know, you go into all of that. It actually stops momentum.
So, Victoria, let's face it, everybody around New Year's Eve says, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that, make a lot of noise about it.
Yeah.
You make the noise to yourself, don't you? You write it down. You keep yourself accountable.
I write it down, and then I also record it, and I use it every night before I go to sleep so that my subconscious can work on it as well. And I just listen to that as I go off to sleep. I do that all year. And it works.
It does work?
It absolutely works.
Okay.
I've been doing it for years and years and years.
So not everybody has everything, do they? I mean, strengths and weaknesses are different in everyone. So obviously you've got to build a team of people around you. I know you've employed lots of people over the years to be part of the vision you've set for yourself.
Yes, and share it with them.
And you tell them what you want to do.
Absolutely. And we actually so next week, we're all back on board again next week. We'll be getting together. I'll be sharing the business plans that I've come up with this week, and we'll be going through them together so they can actually contribute to it as well from where their strengths are, where their genius areas are, so that we create it and co-create it together. Because that's really important too.
So you're the ideas person in a lot of ways, and I know, because I know you well, that you're critical on yourself on some things, aren't you? So you build people into your business that do the things that, well, frankly, don't float your boat, so to speak.
Yeah, the things that I'm not so good at, like spreadsheets, for example. It might take me 2 hours to do something. It would take someone else 20 minutes to do.
Right.
I want the person that will take the 20 minutes to do it, and I'll use my other hour and a half different way.
To think about what might be the next goal you want to tick off.
And where my value is. That's what it's all about for me. It's about letting people operate where their values are.
So having the big ideas, being bold enough to tell people that's what you want to have achieved, and the responsibility you've got. You've got people working for you. You take it all on. It's their mortgages as well as your own.
Absolutely, and I take that very seriously. So we want to make sure that we're all successful together. I even tell them to start businesses on the side because that's the way you create wealth. I don't want them to rely on a wage. So I'm quite open about that as well with my team. And, you know, I enjoy that and they enjoy that too. And I think that we create this wonderful culture because of that, because we're all there to egg each other on and make sure we all succeed.
You know, I do remain. You know, you've known me as long as I've known you, and we've watched each other's careers up and down and flourish in different stages. But now I remain really gravely concerned that, you know, governments don't seem to plan. They don't think like you do. They don't actually want to see a lot of people succeed. Big corporations also, they just want to control what's going on and put people in a frame. If you don't fit in, then you can go away, sort of thing. People are distracted by trends, like the trend of the moment and that sort of thing. It's almost like profit is a bad word in some organisations.
Absolutely, and I think it destroys innovation. And we are seeing innovation destroyed. And we're seeing, you know, censorship and all sorts of things occurring at the moment, which is really sad to me. But if we focus on that and we focus on that we can't change that, well, we won't change that.
Yeah, so my big thing is, I reckon, if you trust people, you'll let them go for it. You'll let them go for what they can do and what they can bring to it.
Yeah, absolutely.
So we're not seeing a lot of trust out of government. We're not seeing a lot of trust in big corporations.
No, trust has been deteriorated completely, but we're still seeing trust at the micro level. You know, you can still foster trust. You can still repair trust. And I think that's what we need to work on now. We've got to put more positive spins on everything. And there are politicians out there who are trying to do good things and are trying to change things, be it very slowly, but they're getting a bit more momentum and they're getting heard a little bit more. So I want to try to stay very positive about 2023 and, you know, where we actually all could be, because there's also an energy of co-creation at the whole planetary level as well.
So around the world, there are these micro businesses that are really starting to say, you know what, we can do this better.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, that sounds positive and it's upbeat.
I think we're in a really positive place because we had to see what mess we were in before we can actually make some change. And now I think, in my life anyway, Gary, I'm really seeing what mess that we were in that I didn't even know we were in. Right? So now we can start unravelling it and start doing something about it. And I think before that, we didn't even know what we didn't know.
Yeah, so now we know what we've been through. Lessons can be learned. People who are innovative should get on with the business of being innovative, building teams around them. That's the message.
Absolutely.
The art of success.
And sharing success.
All right. Good on you, Victoria Jennings. Great to see you always. Thank you.